Hello everyone, hope you all doing good. This is probably will be my first video in the channel. Before moving ahead, I would like to welcome you all to my channel Bo Biology. In this video, we will start with the first chapter of both CBSE and CHSE 12th, that is reproduction in organisms. This chapter will be divided into different parts, and this video is the first part of the chapter reproduction in organisms. So before starting the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and for perfect handwritten notes, please follow my Instagram page at BoBio. So let's get started. As I told, this is the part 1 of the video, and today we'll be discussing about the definition of reproduction, methods of reproduction and the types of reproduction, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction, where further we'll be discussing about the asexual reproduction in detail. The definition of reproduction, we can see that the word reproduction consists of two words, that is re, which means again, and production is to generate or produce. So the term reproduction can be defined as to produce again the same kind. In simple language, we can also define reproduction as a biological process of formation of new offspring from the pre-existing organisms. The process of reproduction can be simply divided into two types, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. The asexual mode of reproduction does not include any specialized structure. Secondly, no involvement of sex organ. As the sex organs are not involved, the gametes are also not formed. It is followed by organism with relatively simple organization. The offsprings produced in this process are from single parent. There is no gamete fusion. The daughter organisms are genetically and morphologically similar, also known as clones. Further, going in detail, the asexual reproduction can be of different types. We will start with the binary fission. In binary fission, the parent organism divides into two halves, each forming an independent daughter organisms. This process involves mitosis, that is, the direct cell division. Offsprings are genetically identical to each other and to the parent. Some examples of organisms showing binary fission are amoeba, paramecium, euglena, and planaria. The next type of asexual reproduction is multiple fission, where the parent body divides repeatedly to form many daughter organisms. The examples include Plasmodium and amoeba. Here we can see amoeba is showing two types of fission, that is both binary fission and multiple fission. What happens actually in amoeba, the products of multiple fission become individually surrounded by resistant coats, that is the cyst wall, before they are released from the parent. The multiple fission is here called sporulation, and the ancestor products are termed as spore. The spore remain inactive during unfavorable conditions such as desiccation and extremes of temperature. On the return of favorable conditions, each cyst hatches into a small amoeba which gradually grows into an adult. Sporulation is not only brings about multiplication but also enables the organism to survive during unfavorable conditions and disperse into new localities with air. Here are some of the pictures citing example of both the type of fission, that is binary fission and multiple fission. Moving on to the next type of asexual reproduction, that is budding. In budding, a small projection or a bud arising on the parent body gives rise to the daughter organism. Now budding can be of two different types, that is exogenous or external, endogenous or internal. In exogenous type of budding, the outgrowth of bud is on the outer side of the parent body, and in the endogenous type or internal type of budding, the outgrowth of bud is inside the body of the parent. Examples of organisms showing exogenous or external type of budding can be yeast and hydra. The examples of organisms showing endogenous or internal type of budding can be spongella, which is a freshwater sponge. The another type of asexual reproduction is fragmentation. In this process, the parent body breaks into pieces and then each piece develops into a whole new organism. The examples can be seen in organisms such as algae, sponges, and some of the members of coelenterate. The another type of asexual reproduction can be spore formation. In this process, the spores are stored in sacs called sporangia. When sporangia burst, minute single-celled, thin or thick-walled structures called spores are obtained. Under suitable conditions, these spores develop into a new organism. The spore formation can be of two types, that is zoospores and conidia. These zoospores are motile spores. They have flagella for the movement. The zoospores can be seen in Chlamydomonas, whereas conidia are non-motile. Spores appears in chain. This can be seen in Penicillium. Moving forward, now we will discuss a very important process of asexual reproduction, that is vegetative propagation. This process is mostly seen in plants, and in this process, the plant does not produce gamete or some specialized structure for reproduction. Rather, they reproduce through their vegetative part such as root, stem, and leaves. This process of vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation can further be divided into two methods: natural method and artificial method. In natural method, the detachment of plant part takes place and its development into a new plant occurs naturally, and that to be without any involvement of mankind. Now, discussing in detail about the natural methods of vegetative reproduction or propagation, we will start with the first one, that is vegetative reproduction by roots. In this process, the roots in many plants such as sweet potato, tapioca, yam, dahlia, asparagus, etc. develop adventitious buds. These buds grow into leafy shoots and called slips, which on detachment and further development give rise to a new plant. The second type is vegetative reproduction by underground stems. These stems can form rhizomes, corms, and bulbs. The plants showing rhizomes can be ginger, turmeric, where they produce small buds which can give rise to new plant under favorable conditions, and also they store food materials. In corms, they are unbranched swollen underground stems which also bear many buds. Under favorable conditions, these buds grow to form a new plant. The examples can be colocasia, crocus, etc. Bulb is an underground condensed shoot. It also develops buds. This bud can give rise to new bulbs. The examples can be onion plant, garlic, etc. Further, stem tubers such as potato, artichoke, etc. are also underground stems. These bear buds in the region of nodes or eyes. These buds can develop into new plants. These are some of the figures showing various type of stem modifications which help in vegetative reproduction. The next is the vegetative reproduction by creeping stems. Here, the creeping stems like runners, stolons, and offsets develop from the base of an old shoot. They grow horizontally for some distance and give rise to new shoots, which grow vertically upward. Finally, they detach themselves from the main plant and form independent plants. The example of runner can be grasses like dub grass. The scientific name of dub grass is Cynodon dactylon. The example of stolon can be strawberry, whereas the example of offsets can be Eichhornia or water hyacinth, also known as terror of Bengal. The next type can be vegetative reproduction by leaves. Here, many of you would have seen that many plants develop adventitious buds on their leaves. These buds on detachment can give rise to a new plant. For example, the marginal notches in Bryophyllum can give rise to a new plant on detachment. So the next type of natural method of vegetative propagation is bulbils. These are specialized fleshy and rounded bud-like structures. These structures can give rise to new plants on detachment. The examples include oxalis, pineapple, lily, etc. Next, we'll be discussing about the artificial method of vegetative reproduction. Here, vegetative reproduction is naturally difficult in some of the plants, and it is done by using special techniques. So, we can say that it is a method where the techniques or methods are carried out by human beings to produce plants vegetatively. That's why it is called as artificial method. So, artificial method of vegetative reproduction can be of three different types, known as cutting, layering, and grafting. Cutting is a simple method in which a suitable part of the stem or root, that to be about 20 to 30 centimeter long, is cut and is planted in the soil along with some of the nutrients. This cut part soon grows new roots and develop into a new plant. Further, root cutting is commonly used in plants like lemon, tamarind, blackberry, raspberry, etc. Stem cutting is very common in plants like rose, croton, sugarcane, tapioca, China rose, bougainvillea, lemon, coffee, grape, etc. Leaf cutting is also used to produce new offspring in plants such as Sansevieria. Layering is one of the most common method of artificial vegetative reproduction in plants. In this method, a twig or a branch of a plant is bent down below the level of the soil. This bent part is called layer. Now, a small incision is made in this layer. The portion is covered with soil and moisture is given at regular intervals. Soon this covered portion develops new roots and becomes separated or can be cut from main body, giving rise to a new plant. This plant then can be shifted to some new locations. Layering is common in plants like jasmine, strawberry, cherry, etc. Now coming to grafting, it is the technique of joining parts of two different plants to form a composite plant. It can be done efficiently in those plants which are closely related and have vascular cambium. What happens that one plant which has a stronger root system is selected as stalk or stem. The branch of other plant is selected as scion. Scion is usually selected from plants which have desired or superior characters. The shoot of the stalk is cut 20 to 30 centimeter above the ground. The leaves and buds are removed from this part. Now complementary cuts are made in stalk and scion so that scion can be fitted exactly in the grooves of stalk. After this fitting, the area is tied tightly with the help of a tough thread, and then it is covered with grafting wax to avoid any infection. Grafting is carried out commonly in plants like mango, guava, apple, citrus, etc. Now there are types of grafting. On the basis of method of uniting two parts, grafting can be of the following types, that is tongue grafting, wedge grafting, crown grafting, and side grafting. In the figure we can see the process of grafting and also the various type of grafting. With this we have completed the first part of the chapter. Here we discussed the definition of a reproduction, the various type of reproduction, and the asexual mode of reproduction in detail. Further, we have discussed vegetative propagation in detail. So in the next video we'll be discussing about the sexual mode of reproduction. Basically we will be studying about the sexual reproduction in angiospermic plants or flowering plants. So till then, take care and goodbye.